Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to be showing you how you can take your Adidas Handball Spezial and give them a star lace finish. So before we start the lacing style, I'm going to pad out the shoe with a couple of socks. So the reason I'm going to do that is because with the star lace style, because the lace goes in and out of some of the holes twice, it's quite hard to get the tension right if you don't get it right from the time when you actually thread your laces through into the holes. So I've bulked out the shoe, padded it out as if I've got a foot sitting inside it, and that's going to make life an awful lot easier to get a really good look with this star lacing style. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lace down through the outside first hole. I'm going to bring it out to about 25 centimetres and leave that there. And then the lace I'm going to take across the shoe to the opposite top hole. And I'm going to make a bar. I'm going to send the lace down as well because I'm going to make a second bar. I'm going to make sure as well that my laces are completely flat. If it starts to get a little bit baggy there at all, a bit loose, so you can pull on this lace here to get the tension back the way that you need it. And then I'm going to send the lace up through the third hole from the top. Even with the laces that sit underneath here, do make sure that they are sitting nice and flat. And the reason for that is that then when you take the lace over the top, you get that nice flat look. So I'm going to send the lace now over to the third hole on the outside of the shoe. And again, pull the lace down because you're heading towards the front hole of the shoe. To make sure you've got that tension just the way you need it to be. And then the lace is going to come up through this first hole. Now you've got a bit of padding in there. You will be able to get it through that first hole. The suede on these Handball Spezials is so soft, it's really easy to get the lace through a hole twice. And then this lace comes up and across to this hole here. And again, you might think it's difficult to get the lace through the two holes. On some shoes it is, but on this one it's easy. So just poke it down through there, push it down, and bring your lace through. Like that. Make sure you've got the tension on it nice. And then the lace is going to go down and up through this hole here. So I'm just going to make sure that my lace is absolutely flat before I bring it up through that hole. And then I'm going to bring the lace across the shoe and down through this hole here. And again, flatten it out. When I bring the lace through, I'm going to pull it down towards the front. Like that. Do keep stopping as well to make sure that your laces aren't getting too loose. And then this time, the lace is going to go down the front and up through this first hole again. Now this is when you might find it a little bit tricky. So this is the only one that's going to be tricky on this shoe. So I'm going to take the socks out, and that's okay to do that now because you've got the tension on the laces the way that you need them to be. You can push your tongue down out the way and that'll help you to get under here. So I'm just going to thread this underneath this diagonal bar here. Like that. And then I'm going to bring it up through here. So again, I'm going to make sure that this lace is completely flat. And then it might help actually, because you've got a lace coming in and then underneath. If you can pull this lace out from under there a little bit, get those two laces in your finger and thumb like that and pull them back, it helps you to get to that hole. There we go. So as I say, that is the trickiest hole you're going to have. And then you pull that through like that. And then this time I'm going to put my hand underneath the tongue like that to kind of pad it out a little bit. And this time this is going to come up to this top bar and go over the top bar and down towards this one here. Now, because you don't want your lace to be loose like this, what I'm going to do is thread it underneath. So I'm going to thread it underneath this diagonal bar here, like that. Because I went under there, I'm going to go over this. Because I went over this, I'm going to go under this. So I'm going to thread it under here, like that. And then I'm going to take it over the top. So to get that tension of that lace right first, bring it over the top, and then you can hold it with your thumb like that. And then you're going to send that lace down nice and flat through that hole there. Like that. And there you've got your star. So this last little bit of lace here has to run underneath this bit here. So I'm just going to let go of that. And I'm going to thread it back up through the style, through the laces, all the way up to the top to get tucked in. So just tuck it in under there, like that. And there you've got your star. And then you need to adjust any of the tension on your laces. So if I pull it up like that, it's just the way I want it to be. I can then pull on this top bar to make that nice and tight again. And there you've got your star. So how do you hold it in place? So I always take this lace here, and to stop this from pulling itself back through again, I tie a little knot in this. So just sort of send it through the lace like that, tie a little knot. Try and get it underneath there as close to the hole as possible. And that will secure that lace like this. And then that goes under your tongue. It's only a soft lace, so it won't rub your foot. And then to make sure that this one doesn't come out here when you're wearing the shoe, it won't come loose straight away. It won't, because you've got two laces running through that hole, it will secure it. But if you want to make it extra secure, then you can always use your extra two laces here and tie a factory knot, and it will help to hold it in place. So I'm just going to put the tongue down and put my two laces together. So to make your factory knot, just align your two laces like this, and you're going to loop them over your finger. Send that bit of lace there, then that's going to come through here to make another loop. Like that, just pull it through and then tighten that up. So you've got yourself a factory knot. Don't worry about this lacing style giving you two laces at the end that are different lengths. It really doesn't matter because you're not going to see them. So then that goes behind your tongue, like that. So let's move on to the left shoe. So moving on to the left shoe, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pad it out with a sock or two. Just push it into your shoe, and again this is going to help us to get that tension of your laces right, and we're ready to start. So just like with the right shoe, I'm going to start with the top hole on the outside of the shoe, leave about 25 centimeters, and then take your lace across to the opposite top hole to make a bar. Flattening out your lace all the time. Bring that lace down towards the front. Just going to adjust that to make sure it comes out nice and flat, and then get that tension right as well. And then we're going to take the lace up through the third hole from the top. So again, flattening it out, bring it up through the hole, and then you're going to take the lace across the shoe to the opposite side to make a second bar. And as you take your lace through, just send it down to the front. And I'm just going to check the tension again on that one a little bit to make sure that they're the same. And then the lace is going to come up through that first hole on the outside of the shoe. So just push it up through the hole, making sure that that lace is sitting nice and flat as it runs underneath there. And then we're going to send the lace up through this hole here. So take it down through that hole once more. And then just making sure as you're pulling on that, that you have secured the lace through down into the hole, nice and flat. Again, I'm just checking the tension on all of them all the time. And then I'm going to take the lace up through this hole here. So the first hole on the inside of the shoe. So bring that through there, tuck it underneath, and then when it comes up, you're going to bring it across and down through the hole here on the outside of the shoe. So flatten it out. When I take it down through the hole, I'm going to point my lace down towards the front again. Just guide that in nice and flat. And then I'm going to take the lace and bring it up through this hole here. So because you just got all the tension on the lace just the way you want it to, it's okay now to take that sock out. So take out your sock or two that you put in there. You can flatten down the tongue and that will allow you to get up through here. So I'm just going to check that that's coming out nice and flat from under there. I'm just going to thread it under that diagonal lace there and bring it up through here. So up through that front hole, first hole, like that. And then this is the time when it's going to come all the way up to that top bit there, that top bar. So I'm going to just check with this one here. And as you can see on the outside of the shoe, I went under that bar. So I'm going to go under this one so that the two shoes match. And then you'll know what to do from there, because if you go under a lace, you go over the next one. So then I go over and I go under. Like that. Just pad out your shoe with your hand now to make sure you get the tension right. And so now I'm going to take it over that bar, hold it there with my thumb. Because I went over there, I'm going to go under this one. And because I went under there, I'm going to go over this one and send it down through that first hole on the front. So I'm just going to flatten that out, bring it down through that hole. Now that will pull on that top bar, so just put your hand back under the tongue like that, and just make sure that you've got that last bit of lace there just the way you need it to be, so it's not pulling on there. And then that little bit of lace here that you've got left, it gets threaded under here and runs under this bit. So I'm just going to drop the tongue down again and make my way back under the laces. Thread it through like that. Take it under the tongue like this, and then you've got up to the top bit now, and you've got your star in place. So I'm just going to pop the sock back in again to pad it out. And a second one. And I'm just going to check that those last two laces here, I've got the tension that I need them, so they're not going to be loose. So I'm just going to pull on that one just a little bit. Just keep pulling in there, like that. Pull on this one a little bit. And there you've got your laces and you've got your star. So you've got your laces in place. So I'm going to secure this again, like I did on the other shoe, by tying a knot in it. Just make sure that's nice and snug up against the hole, like that, so this won't come through. That goes under the tongue. And then, as I've said before, if you want to secure this, you could do a factory knot. So I'm going to pull this down, get my two laces together, align them, send it round my finger. Just make sure I've got those two laces together first. And then take a loop around your finger, bring them back through again to make a second loop. And then pull on that. And you'll have made yourself a nice factory knot there that you can place underneath your tongue. And that'll just give you a little bit of security in holding this one here in place. But as I've said, when you've got two laces coming through a hole, it does help to fix them into place. So there you have your left shoe and your right shoe star laced. I hope that was helpful. If it was, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and for future videos, subscribe. Thanks for watching.